Welcome back to this week's edition of the Friday Five. Ben Rosehart here with Sierra Clark from our Concordia University Irvine women's basketball team. Sierra, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks so much for being our guest this week. And I know there's a lot of excitement right now. New semester, the goal to play some games here soon later this month, as we announced in the Pac West conference schedules coming out for men's and women's basketball. So really looking forward to all that is in the future
Yeah, us
coming
too.
up. Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you first, just before we get into the future, just kind of looking back at last year. You played every game as a freshman, true freshman, and at a point guard position, which is
Mhm.
extremely important. What did you learn about yourself, your teammates, and how do you feel you've grown just since like those first couple days? You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Well, for starters, I think one of the main reasons why I was able to succeed at doing that is because of my teammates. They continuously have my back. They lift me up. A few of them have been in the same position as I was last year, so they were able to relate to that and really help me out, which was great. And my coaches as well, they were always there for me too, helping me out. And I just learned a lot about how to better communicate and really be a leader out on the floor. Going from high school to college, it's a pretty big jump. But with my teammates and my coaches, they really made it a lot easier on me.
Is that tough being trying to be one of the leaders as a freshman? Because that's not for everybody.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough, to be honest. I think last year was just a year of growth and really figuring out where I fit in on the team, finding moments to step up and be a leader, but also stepping back and learning from the girls who are older than me and kind of just soaking it all in.
Great answers, absolutely. And sticking with basketball, you mentioned in your bio two of your favorite players are Steph Curry and Kobe Bryant. So I have to ask you about those two. I guess in particular, now that it's been almost a year, crazy to even say that. What
Yeah.
do you remember about Kobe and kind of like you always enjoyed about him? And what do you currently enjoy about Steph?
Wow, okay. Kobe. From the day I started playing basketball, I idolized him. I grew up watching him. I was a huge Laker fan. I still am. Um, and I think more than anything for Kobe, what stood out to me about him was his competitive drive, the passion that he had for basketball, and not only basketball, but for anything that he, put his mind to, and his willingness to put in the extra work, when a lot of other people don't. Obviously, his skill set was out of this world, but I think for me, those things stand out the most. And those things are really what made me look up to him so much. And for Steph, he's one of my favorite players too. I love watching him. Um, not only for him is he an amazing player, but I also like that he's not the tallest, he's not the strongest or fastest, most athletic, which I kind of relate to. And I think when he first came into the league, there were a lot of people that doubted what him and what he would be able to do because of his size. And he has clearly proved everybody wrong. But I think I kind of relate to that in a way because I'm usually not. I'm definitely not the tallest or the strongest. I'm usually not the fastest either. So I admire that about him. And I also like how, he's not only a phenomenal scorer, but a playmaker as well, which I kind of try and, form my game after, be a scorer, but also a playmaker for my teammates as a point guard.
Well said, Sierra. Well said. And they're both girl dads, right? And I always kind of
Yeah.
like that how they both had multiple daughters. Kobe obviously, so that
Yeah.
meant so much to him and Steph obviously too. It's obvious away from the court. So that's one of my
Yeah.
takeaways. That's pretty cool. All those things you just said about both of them. Absolutely. Um, let's turn away from basketball now. What are some other hobbies you enjoy in addition?
Oh yeah, totally. Well, outside of basketball, I just love spending time with my family and friends for sure. I love to be out in nature, so hiking, the beach, just getting outside, honestly. I love to write, and I'm into photography as well. So I love doing all of those things. Yeah, obviously basketball is a huge part of my life, but it is nice to kind of take a step back every now and then and, put more of a focus on those other things too.
How do you feel you've adapted, to online classes and everything over the last
hmm
year almost now, working towards your degree and your career goal?
Yeah, at first, it was tough. The transition was pretty quick going from, last year switching from in-class teaching to online. So at first it was kind of a hard transition, but at this point I've honestly gotten used to it, and I don't really mind it so much anymore. But all the teachers have been great. My classes have been great still. I'm currently a psychology major, and it's been a lot of fun to learn about everything that entails. I love learning about humans and how our minds work and why we behave the way we do sometimes. So it's been a lot of fun.
Wise words there of a point guard trying to make sure
Thank
she's
you.
communicating with all her teammates well. Very well said as well.
Exactly.
Okay, what's one of your favorite memories so far that you've had since putting on that Concordia Eagles uniform?
Oh man, there's been so many already, and it's only my second year here, so it's been amazing. I think last year I really enjoyed Midnight Madness. That was a lot of fun for me. Um, Bummed that we couldn't do that this year, but obviously because of circumstances, it's understandable. Um, and then I think all of the traveling that we've done too. I mean, I got to go to Hawaii for the first time last year, which is a place I've always wanted to go to. And I love traveling, so that was awesome. And I think just, the moments outside of basketball too. I mean, there have been so many, but just the time spent with teammates in our dorm rooms, when we go out, like we have a lot of fun beach days, and the whole group is amazing. And I love it here.
Well, we're so happy you're a Concordia Eagle, and thank you for being our guest this week on the Friday Five, Sierra Clark from our Concordia women's basketball team. Good luck out on the court and with all your classes.
Thank you so much.